Hey all, this is my Module 5 for AEP 858. I wanted to start out with a quote that I found on Twitter, and that quote is, "Great leaders are concerned with making those around them better. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle." Hashtag teach better. This is from a teacher. And I found that this was really engaging just because of the fact that you think about, hey, if you are the candle that is lit as you're lighting students, or when we are an administrator and we're lighting our staff and our teachers, you don't lose anything by lighting them on fire, by creating them as a leader. You actually just grow the amount of light that is put off. So who are we? Well, I focused on Spring Hill Middle School, where I actually taught last year. This year I'm at Woodland Spring, brand new school. There's not a lot of data available. So I focused on last year's school of Spring Hill Middle School. We have about 681 students, 86% of them being white. So we are predominantly white at our school, and then with about a 7% population being Hispanic, and then the rest being anywhere from like around 6% being the rest. And then we have about a 25% free discounted lunch. So that is the school, but our community, Spring Hill community, we have a little over 6,000 people, but growing quickly. One of the fastest growing communities in the state of Kansas. Once again, we are predominantly white, being almost 99% white. This is now diversity is coming in Spring Hill, and we are slowly becoming more diverse. But those numbers are not available to us yet. And so this is a picture of the actual middle school, our logo, as well as our professional development that I'll be talking about here shortly. So how do we do business in our middle school? Well, we focus on PLCs a lot. We actually have late starts Wednesdays, so we actually start school an hour later than normal. This is something brand new to the district this year. I actually put a tweet from our Spring Hill Human Resources Department, which is actually, they quoted me. They asked me what I thought, and I'll let you read that for yourselves for time's sake. But professional learning communities are very important to collect and use data, and if we don't have this time available to us, we cannot use the data successfully to do continuous improvement cycle in our schools. We also have site council meetings. This gives parents and business their point of views into our schools. We do professional development monthly. We do have map and state testing. We do that in the fall and the spring. We actually just had some last week, having some this week, and we'll be doing it again in spring to create this data to see how well we are improving in those areas. We do career planning, do individual plans of study. We use a program called Zello with the students. We do have parents and student surveys at the end of the year. This is kind of getting that perception data to see how we are doing as a school. Does that align with what we think as a staff? Is what parents and students thinking also aligning to that? And then we focus heavily on building relationships. So teachers building relationships with their students, because we can't be successful if we do not know our students and we aren't helping them, not only on an academic level, but on other levels as well. I also put our Spring Hill Middle School's mission, which we'll be talking about here shortly, because this is the reason why we do business the way that we do. So where are we now? Well, I focused on this slide in just our performance level scores with math and ELA. You can kind of read through those, but we do have a little bit higher percentages than the state averages, so we are doing a little bit better than the state average. We are doing about the same, a little bit better than the districts that are around us from what I have researched in previous modules in this course, as I had mentioned in those. So we are doing a pretty good job, but obviously there is room for improvement. We are always trying to move kids from level 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 as we go, and make those percentages in those areas even higher, and then less in the level 1. So where are we now? I got this information, this further information with the other 4 data measures that we had discussed in this course for the interview with my current principal, Mr. Sprague, from Module 2. I don't actually have the actual data for some of these because of the fact that it is kept on Skyward Administrator access, and I don't have that. And so I just have what the information and the data I collected through my interviews. So I don't actually have any charts available for this part, which is unfortunate. But for demographic data, I have talked about before, we are growing quickly. We can find out what the income levels are, which is a little higher than the average of Kansas. Discipline data, how are we improving on discipline issues and gender? Where's the equality there that we have? Perception data, I talked a little bit already. staff surveys, student parent surveys, the PTO and site council that we have, social media, informal. Okay, so we can find this perception of Spring Hill Middle School and the Spring Hill School District is a very good one. So we can use the other 4 data measures to kind of to use as a check and balance to see if that data is actually accurate or not. And then we have student learning data. Those are those MAP scores, common assessments, classroom gradebook data, and individual plans of study. A lot of this is created in that PLC time, and we can use that data during that time to really explore to see how we are meeting the needs of our students for this continuous improvement. And lastly is the school processes data measures. Okay, so those are the IPS data, the PLC data, the activity, participation, and scheduling data. How are we running our school? Is it working effectively? Are students involved in the different activities we have available to them? So why in general do we exist? I put our vision, which is maintain small town values, because we're not really a small town anymore, but we like to maintain those values and empower each individual student to achieve world-class success. This is the reason why we do the things that we do. Our mission, once again, is to be a school district that engages students to learn, create, adapt, and succeed in an ever-changing world. We have to give them the resources that they need, and this data that we collect can guide our decision making on what we need to create, what we need to adapt to help these students succeed. And then our Spring Hill Middle School guiding question has always been, what is best for kids? We only make decisions, and our decisions are always based off of that one question. So I felt like that was important for why do we exist. And then I found this quote as well: every kid is one caring adult away from being a success story. And that is why we build relationships. That is what is best for kids at Spring Hill Middle School. So where do we want to be? I put this vision again of maintaining those small town values and empowering each student to achieve world-class success. So how do we get them there is the main question. We can get them there through, or we are working on getting them there through individual plans of study. We have to have staff buy-in, especially in this new PLC process. If staff don't use this time wisely and think it's dumb, okay, it won't work. We need to create a positive learning environment, always striving for improvement into the 4 data measures, not just one of student achievement. We have to do all 4. And then there's that question again: what is best for our kids? Are we meeting their needs? So I want to go back to this quote: great leaders are concerned with making those around them better. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Teach better. We are the candle, either as teachers now or as future administrators, and we must light others. It will create more light and be able to meet the needs of more students.